And it's a big list that what if I read, I'll be taking much of time. Just I would like to share with you all that he has taken up number of research projects funded by ICSSR, DST, NABARD, ONGC, NIRD, NUPA. Number of institutions are there, so that shows his research interest in different fields and different areas. That what we can say. And I was very much impressed to learn that uh, he has established a number of eco-friendly enterprises during during 2005 to 21 in Andhra Pradesh and Bundelkhand in India. So this is a very new initiative, being a social science researcher, uh, mm, motivating the enterprises to be eco-friendly. And at the same time, so he has taken up various aspects of livelihood, such as tourism, trade between India and Bangladesh, because Tripura is adjacent country. So establishment of the good relationship between two countries is his playing key role. With this brief introduction, now I welcome you all. I welcome Professor Mahato sir, and now I request Professor Mahato sir to deliver the lecture. And sir, please, now you can share your slides.
Yeah, thank you, Professor. You nicely have explained. I think so. There is a asking send request. I have send the request. Someone
No,
else
sir.
is sharing.
So, Doctor, yeah, now it's okay. Now
Yes,
it's
yes.
okay.
Now
Yeah.
it's okay. Now it's okay.
Yeah. Mhm. And I request all the participants, shortly we will be sharing one feedback form. I request all of you to fill that feedback form. Then accordingly, we will be sending the e-certificates to you all upon receipt of your feedback. Sir, now you can share. Professor Arobindo, sir.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Is it visible, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So, as sir has introduced me very well, and you might have understood that I am here as a rural development and rural management and development faculty over there. Last around 20 years serving in this sector, in largely on the development sector basically, and then implementation sector, then academics, and how it has accelerated at the level of IGNU or such other institution at the bigger level of country, in that way working. But while working on this, I felt one of the things is necessary, that is that we used to study the rural development book uh, as a student from Bharati Shantiniketan and other thing. Basically, I have background from physics honors too. I shifted to rural development. So I understand the things in a scientific approach, try to understand the scientific approach. So there is a book called Kartar Singh and there is a Robert Chamber, most popular book in the rural development sector. But whenever I went to the village for the study purpose, for the survey purpose, or for other purpose, and as a development professional, when we are trying to give some solution, surprisingly note that the village system has some mechanism themselves only to solve the problem. So that is the basically my realization ki our rural knowledge system is there, which my parents has said something or my grandfather has said something, and it has continued in such way. So now, when sir has asked me, ki you can choose your topic based on this certain criteria and from related to your field and how it can contribute to the Biksit Bharat or the developed Bharat kind of thing situation. So I felt this could be the best situation where I can express, because this is not a paper, I should say, which could be established academically in a proper form. So in that way, I can say if you search in net or anywhere, in rural knowledge system of Bharat, the village knowledge system of Bharat, you will not get such much more anything about this term. So this is a keyword which we tried to coin the term because it exists but never had been documented properly in any book form or any published article and literature. So whatever I'm going to tell you, since it's a multidisciplinary subject, rural development, it's an accumulation of almost many subject of social science. Few portion of scientific approach also has been taken to prove the scientific endeavor of social sciences which exist in our villages. So this is the background of my talk today. Slide is not moving. So is the slide is moving? Moved?
Yes, sir, it is moving.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. So, and the rural knowledge system is basically traditional knowledge, but I'll come out with a difference. What is rural knowledge system of Bharat and what is the traditional knowledge system is different, but almost it's togetherly same. Skill, practice, experience, and developed by rural communities through generation by generation. Interaction with environment. So whatever in your book, whatever we are able to see in our book today's the world, it has been felt that it has came from nature. And the nature has taught us many more things. Suppose the Newton, by falling an apple, he has realized the gravitational force. Same like as everything, whatever we have learned, whatever is documented in book, most of the things came from nature, and nature has teaching us the most of the things. But if you could see the rural knowledge system, you'll be happy to know that everything learned generation by generation from nature and environment. That knowledge covers area on every sector of our rural development. That is agriculture, healthcare, biodiversity, natural resource management. So these are the areas which has covered, which includes indigenous farming method. If I break down it, what is doing in agriculture? The indigenous farming method, traditional medicine, water management, livestock care, food preparation, local crafts, cultural practices, and community-based resource management. So mostly we have seen we used to blame. There is a book called Tariq-e-Hind written by Al-Biruni. So he said in around 1100 century he wrote that book, around 1000 years back. In the Al-Biruni, what he has told in that book, he came with Muhammad Ghazni to snatch out the resources of our country. And while snatching out, he has a good thing that he used to bring some intellectuals along with him. Among them, there was an intellectual called Al-Biruni, and he wrote one book, Tariq-e-Hind. So in that Tariq-e-Hind, whatever you feel that in that book, he has given a 3 crux. And he is suggesting Muhammad Ghazni that you cannot snatch everything from Bharat. Why you cannot snatch everything from India? Because there are 3 things. People of Bharat do not fear. Why they do not fear? Because they feel that there will be a chances of rebirth. And if this body dies or exploited, in next birth will take place. So death is another phenomena. So you should not fear. Second thing, they feel that they should not lie. Why they should not lie? Because if you lie, then in next birth, the effect of lieness, you will be followed. You will be fruit of lie you will be getting. So for the rebirth, punarjanam mein jo vishwas hai, for that reason they don't want to lie. And another thing he said, that the people of India, it's felt very proud or very rich in their thinking that they are the very literate. Why they are the very literate? Because they have wrote the Ved, Puran, when all over the world people were not able to write ABCD. That time they have written such kind of literature, philosophical, political, and other things has been written in country like India. So they have a very proud feeling on their things. So why I am keeping this book in example over here? Because you see, 1,000 years back, that was the situation. And after 1,000 years, now this is the situation where in 2025, it was written around 1025. It is around 1,000 years back. And now the situation has changed in that way. We are bound to tell lie. People used to say, we have kids, why not we should lie? How, otherwise, how will survive? So the moral value has from declined from a morality where you do not lie from a liar. You, for the getting the benefit from government scheme, for the getting the job, every day we are seeing many fraud certificate, fraud document, fraud publications, many more things we are seeing. So why this drastic change has happened in 1,000 years? I can take the many more books example as an example for moral values of India. But I'm taking Al-Biruni book because it's an external view. And when we are talking about Veda, Purana and something, people say, oh, it's a very old, it's by the name of modernity, they demolish there, it's not a snatch it out. So to overcome that, that's why I took this book example, and it is very much available. Tariq-e-Hind book in other from English literature also. It was written in Arabic initially, but it is available in English also. From the net also you can download. So the drastic change where happened, then we say we blame to Macaulay education system. Now, what is that Macaulay education system? We said it's run behind the education, it run behind the 3E, basically education, employment, and English. If you don't know English, you are not able to, you are not known or be an academician or treated be a literate person. If you don't know, if you don't have a employment, every life after birth, the whole run start not for the getting education, in a real sense of education, for getting a good employment. And for that, you need a formal education system where you can crack the IIT, NEET or other exam. So why this has happened in 1,000 years and we blame Macaulay? But thing is that in our country, after getting freedom, still we are lagging behind in the name of Macaulay. So why this has happened? So our cultural practices, community-based resource management, everything is there. But still we feel we are lagging behind in terms of. So our morality has been down from 1,000 years. Now we are fear of death because death is very crucial. So we should not get death like this situation has came. So the same thing you can say whole Bharat, but little bit portion of that 1,000-year tradition is still available in the virgin areas of our villages. In our rural area, still you can get that essence of 1,000 years, where the morality in some places still exists. People still don't lie. The moral value of people still remain. After the colonization effect also people living. So why these things has preserved, and that's why we have to nurture our rural knowledge system. If we are still able to nurture the rural knowledge system, we'll be getting decolonized in terms of our development, our progress, our Viksit Bharat Sapna, whatever you can say. So what are the characteristics of our local rural area? Locally developed and context specific, passed through generation by generation oral tradition and practices, based on observation, experience and adaptation, dynamic and continuously evolving, closely connected with nature and community. That's the main crux I was telling you. Whatever we exist in the village area, that the livelihood, economy, it through the nature based and community values based. So a living civilization beyond the colonial knowledge platform. Why Bharatiya knowledge system we should talk? Why this Bharatiya knowledge system? Bharatiya knowledge system we need to revive today, or we need to talk. The living civilization beyond the colonial knowledge paradigm. So I used to give one example most of the times. how this knowledge system has changed and how. My grandmother, I have seen, many of you might have seen in my generation, or people are from senior to me also. Many people might have used or practiced in your childhood or life. I have got that opportunity in my village. My grandmother used to clean her teeth with charcoal, sometime with salt, with some oil or something like that. So like that, I used to say, so when I went to school, a good school, so they taught me to make the paste. That time there was a course called work education. Through the work education, they taught me how to make the powder, cleaning powder of your teeth, and that time the Colgate paste and other thing has came. So one side I felt in my school, they taught me how to make paste, and one side I have seen the market is full with now Colgate or something like that paste is available. So I told my grandmother, and that time I was studying in class 5. So I told my grandmother, grandmother, there is a paste and that will be very good for your teeth. And there are so many chemicals I have seen. Those has been mixed in a equal proportionate. And then after this paste has been mixed, that my school has also taught me how to make such kind of paste or tooth cleaning powder and all. So I feel it's very good. So my grandmother felt my grandchild is educated, and he is going in a good school, so he might have learned the proper thing. Why not I should adopt? So she has adopted the paste. My whole family has adopted the paste, and we have started using the paste. But when I reached to class 10, 12 around things, I was surprised one day when I have seen an ad that Colgate with charcoal. Another day I have seen Colgate with salt. So I recall whatever the knowledge my grandmother had, now in name of modernity or name of modern school, that has been removed from my life. But the corporate company which has Colgate or something, they are telling that charcoal is very good for teeth. Salt is very good for teeth. So I surprised by the name of modernity, which has have thrown out, how it is going to work. And you will be knowing very surprisingly, I am very much surprised. Few years back, one of my friends sent a gift for me from the America. And he said, I'm sending a gift for you. I said, no, I am an Indian guy earning in a rupees and you are earning in a dollar. So please don't send gift me. And don't send any gift to me, because I'll not be able to give you return gift because you are earning in a dollar. He said, no, it's hardly $1 in cost to me. Because you talk like this, many times I have seen you listen to you, so I have sending you this gift. So I said, okay, then $1, it's okay, 100 rupees around, I can give you a return gift kind of thing. So he has gifted me. So when I opened the packet, I have seen there was written the natural teeth cleaner fiber, natural fiber tooth cleaner. And there was a 5-stick kind of things, jo neem ka datwan, or the which we used in our childhood, that is packet in a good form. Fiber was made through a machine. The stick has been made through a fiber, and they are telling that plastic brush is very harmful for your body. So you should use the natural fiber teeth cleaner. So again, a surprise, which we have left out by the name of modernity or by the name of new ideas or technology. Now again, that is coming back to my life. And then why this knowledge system, which exists till my grandmother, that generation by generation, and how that has not been documented properly in the present era, and it has been missed out. So again, I have started, or is it documented or it is not documented? Is there any literature available or not in this our practices? This is I given one example from the food or any habit. If you could go, there are 1,000 numbers of, we have a grandma's kitchen, and grandma's kitchen from we can get many more things. So this living tradition is still somewhere it present in rural area, and that's uninterrupted knowledge system, I could say, and that is in our rural village. So a living civilization legacy is there. knowledge beyond colonial framework still exists over there. Intergenerational transmission is happened over there, and nature-centering worldview is there. If you see, I stay in Northeast. There is a very popular called Gaudiya Puja, and if you could see, Gaudiya Puja is a symbolic of goddess Shiva. But they made the Gaudiya Puja Shiva is through bamboo. Some structure they make through a bamboo only. So whatever the worship method, it's very much near to nature. If you could see in Bengal's the most popular goddess Durga, it is made, the real sense it's made by Ganga ka mitti, the earth from Ganga river and some other places. So this is the nature-based your goddess, nature-based worship, nature-based life. The house is made up by bamboo, stone, whatever the nature has given, not the artificial cement or not artificial concrete. So specific relevance we can found it today ourselves. That's why this Bharatiya knowledge system we need to be taught. From ancient knowledge to sustainable development. Now ancient Bharat wisdom we could see. What was the wisdom? Foundation knowledge and observation people have made, and community has practiced from time to time, and generation of validation has been made from the long time. After that, we are seeing it is scientific research, validation by modern analysis and evidence has happened. Many things, as I given one example, there are 1,000 numbers, turmeric, neem seeds. I'll be coming to on this. So sustainable development is integrated in our ancient Bharatiya wisdom. So why not nurture that system? And then comes to this system, if we could say properly, the ancient farmer to present day farmer. This is the timeline which you have seen. And it has gone through a guru, Sishya, family, community, and future generation. So ancient Bharatiya wisdom to community practice, generalization of practices and scientific research and sustainable development. So therefore, I can say that rural knowledge system refers to the traditional knowledge, skill, belief, practices that rural communities have developed and passed down through generation. This knowledge is based on long-term observation, experience, adaptation to local environment, social and cultural conditions. It includes sustainable farming method, traditional healthcare, water conservation, biodiversity management, livestock care, food preservation, and natural resource management. So rural knowledge system plays a very vital role ensuring your food security, conserving the biodiversity, strengthening the climate resilience, and promoting sustainable rural livelihood. So if you could see, the recent climate change seminar has happened in Copenhagen. These are the things we are talking about. So which we are practicing from thousand years, and now the climate change, Copenhagen climate change conference, we are talking, these are the conserving your biodiversity, ensuring the sustainable development goal. Basically, I'm coming to that point also. It's going in that direction, which we are practicing from 1,000 years. So here, basically, when we speak a Bharatiya knowledge system, we are not discussing rallies on the past. We are examining a living civilization knowledge tradition that survived colonial epistome, disruption, and continues to guide millions and thousands of people of rural households. The remarkable development today is many of these practices, once dismissed as traditional, are now being validated by contemporary sciences. If you could see the Arjun, the cover of Arjun tree is basically known as the cholesterol reduction, and basically we use from the heart disease from the 1,000 years. But in the medical science book in 2018 schedule only, they have included the Arjuna chal is very important for reducing cholesterol. So this is the science still proving what we have already done. So now, if you could see the knowledge system of Bharat, then how it is happening. happening in the knowledge system whole. So I was surprised. That's what I was telling. It's everything which we have practiced traditionally, or we don't have such patent or some book or literature available in our country or scientific research or something. Then I realized there are thousand number of books is also available, but losing the importance in the current basically colonial period, that is the main problem of our knowledge system regeneration or carrying forward the wisdom. So there are 5 examples I have took here for understanding the Bharatiya rural knowledge system. One side we are seeing we have Krishi Parasar, agriculture. The Muni Parasar has read the soil seed cropping pattern. We have Bhiksha Ayurveda, plant science. We have Arthashastra, written by Chanakya. We have Charka Sahitya, written by health for Rishi Chanak. We have Virat Samhita on the climate, water, hydrology, ecology. One side, this set of books, majorly I have took 5, but there are maybe many. Another side, where we are giving input through our traditional wisdom, local observation, indigenous practices, and community knowledges. And it is validated by time to time by community consensus, general testing, empirical success, and local adaptations. And it is leading to innovation, that is integration with modern science, value addition, scalable solution, and new applications. Policy, supportive legislation, resource allocation, knowledge protection, and mainstreaming. Finally, by incorporating both way, another way the practical experiences, community learning, the villagers practices, another side the books available which are giving the scientific evidence along with the literature which now we are practicing, giving the impact, the sustainable livelihood enhancement, ecological resilience, and community well-being. So moral, according to governance, everything is given in these books. So I'll coming to this literature in minutely. So first, the Krishi Parasar, which I talk about, it has written in 400 BC around. Dates are really debatable, attributed by Maharishi Parashar. Considered one of the earliest Indian treatises devoted earlier to the agriculture. The first book on agriculture it has been written. So core theme of this book, what are the core themes? Selection of fertile land, soil classification, seed selection and treatment, crop calendar, organic manures, rainfall prediction, irrigation practices, bullock and plow management, pest management, harvesting and storage. So these are the major chapter or core theme of the book. And the ancient ancient practice, what do they have? Seed treatment. If you could see in the modern science or agriculture science, it's reduced fungal diseases and improve germination. So seed treatment is in our practice. We now know it is for fungal disease and improves germination. Organic manure we use, now we say that improves soil organic carbon and microbial diversity. Crop calendar based on season, matches agroclimatic zoning and phenology, the modern science. The mixed farming, which we talk about the Krishi Parasar in itself, enhance resilience and nutrient cycling. Rain observation, correspondence with agrometeorological forecasting principles. So one side we are seeing scientific endeavors are there, but already these things were practiced from long time. Again, in the book called Bhiksha Ayurveda, where Surapala, around 10th century, literally means the science of plant life. It's written by Surapala. What is the crux of that book? Nursery techniques, soil fertility management, plant nutrition, plant disease, grafting, irrigation, organic plant tonics, tree conservation, orchard management. And now ancient practice, organic formulation, grafting, mulching, mixed plantation, plant health management. So, and the scientific endeavor, this side you can say, we are talking about organic formulation, we are talking biofertilizers and stimulants, standard horticulture propagation, moisture conservation and weed suppression, which were mulching, agroforestry and biodiversity conservation, which was mixed plantation, integrated pest management, which is plant health management. So in scientific, which you are practicing today, that was, and it is a well-known book that Kalpilla's Chanakya Arthashastra talk about the rural knowledge component, that is agriculture taxation, irrigation management, village administration, water conservation, forest governance, livestock management, land records, market regulation, disaster management, food security. And the same thing is available in the modern shifting also, you could see. The water management, integrated watershed development now project, land records, GIS and cadastral mapping, crop taxation, agriculture economics, state-supported irrigation policy, public irrigation policy, forest protection, community forest. So like this, whatever the things were written in the book, present in scientific modern discipline also available. Same like as in Charkha Samhita, where we talk about Acharya Charak. Now medicinal plant, nutritional prevalence, preventive healthcare, seasonal regimes, food habit, public health, community hygiene, herbal medicine, ancient practices, herbal medicine, and then pharmacology and phytochemistry. The dietary diversity, nutrition science, seasonal diets, chronobiology and preventive medicines, immunity promotion, immunology and public health, medicinal plants, drug discovery. So like this, if you could see whatever the written in the old our traditional book, that has been matching with the modern scientific endeavor. The same is Brihat Samhita, written by Brahmihiri, the encyclopedia work covering astronomy, meteorology, hydrology, agriculture, architecture, and ecology. So rainfall prediction, groundwater exploration, seasonal forecasting, agriculture, tree plantation, environmental indicator, and weather forecasting. Ancient practice was rainfall indicators. Now it is meteorology, groundwater indicator, it is called hydrology now. Seasonal forecasting, it is called climate science now. Ecological observation, it's called environmental monitoring. Astronomical calculation, it's called astronomy. So these are the things which has written by Barahmir in 600th century that still has a relevance in the modern discipline. So what are the things is there? That is not only the book, the culture, social dimension and rural knowledge system is also there. In terms of festival, customs, oral traditions, storytelling and social capital. These are also existing. Now, how the knowledge has been transferred in from last 2000 years or 3000 years, 4000 years, knowledge has been transferred. How? Through the village meeting. Community gathering provide a platform of sharing experience, discussing the problem and enhancing local knowledge. So it is happening from long ago. It's not a new thing, the meeting, village meeting. Hearts, the traditional rural market support knowledge exchange along with the trade of local produce, seeds and resources. It's happening from so ancient times. Agriculture fairs and exhibition help farmers learn about new technologies, farming practices and innovation. NGOs, non-government organization also played some role. Earlier that was called civil society, extension officer. Now government has appointed agriculture officer, but it was traditionally there was a known people in the village who knows everything. The panchayat, digital platform. So the knowledge utilization in agriculture knowledge system, rural knowledge system in agriculture, fishery, forestry, rural entrepreneurship, improving livelihood, community resilience, these are all. So if I could see one crux of all these books, I can say that Krishi Prasar is written and agriculture and given the scientific evidence of agronomy, soil science. Briksha Ayurveda given horticulture, agroforestry, plant physiology. Arthashastra is given on rural governance, agriculture, economics, public policy, rural administration. Charak Samhita given pharmacology, nutrition and public health, and Brihan Samhita is given on hydrology, climate science, agrometeorology. It's called meteorology and environment. But question comes, many people says, you are telling everything is right. But if you could see the Greek, if you could see the other old countries, there is also these knowledges are available. That is, so you cannot say it's a Bharatiya knowledge system. You should say it's a traditional knowledge system. or indigenous knowledge system. You cannot say it's an Indian knowledge system. So for them, I made this comparison. You could see the tribal medicine hubs are available in traditional knowledge as well as in the Bharatiya knowledge system also. Vishwa Ayurveda, even in traditional knowledge also, it's available in Bharatiya knowledge system also. Ayurveda, science of life, the three part of body, it's not available in worldwide, the traditional knowledge. It's available in the Bharatiya knowledge system, which I talk about the Charak Samhita. The partly, the three components of body, how it is divided, how it is treated, everything is given. Science of life through Ayurveda is given in Bharatiya knowledge system, not available worldwide. Yoga, partly available through gym or other things, but basically it's a Bharatiya knowledge system, giving the benefit through yoga, how it can affect in our body and all. Arthashastra, it's not merely available in the worldwide. It is available in Bharatiya knowledge system only. The Panini's grammar, nowhere available in the world. It is available in Bharatiya knowledge system. The Sulva Sutra, Vedic geometry, nowhere available. It's available only in Bharatiya knowledge system. Temple architecture, partly available, not the whole. From the Vastu Sutra mixing with Vedic geometry, that Sulva Sutras, it is not mixed. So it is available in Bharatiya. That's why it is difference between traditional knowledge system and Bharatiya knowledge system. Though United Nations has given a definition of traditional knowledge system, but it doesn't match with Bharatiya knowledge system. It doesn't cover everything of Bharatiya knowledge system through their definition of given by traditional knowledge by United Nations Development Organization. So these are you. Now, what is the implication of Bharatiya knowledge system? You have knowledge, but how it is affecting in your rural development sector? It is affecting in your agriculture, water, forest, livestock, health, everything, climate, biodiversity, and leading to sustainable rural development, which is scientifically validated and innovation, and that leads to Viksit Bharat 2047 concept of Bharat. How it can possible? I am going to in detail on that. Sustainable agriculture. We have the Bharatiya practices, Kirsi Parasar, crop rotation, intercropping, traditional seed banks, block farming, and scientific evidence improve soil fertility, reduce pest, conserve biodiversity, improve climate resilience, astronomical calculations. These are all examples where we are giving many things, that millet plus pulses, rice plus peas. These are the FEs. These are the model of agroforestry along with the mixed cropping pattern. Soil health. We have traditional practices of Panchagabya, the cow-based economy, or you can say cow-based soil health treatment mechanism. Jivamrit, that from the organic we make some Jivamrit. Vermicomposting, cow dung, green manure, leaf litter, everything. And the science, higher microbial activity, increase organic carbon, better nutrient cycling. So these are the scientific evidence from the traditional practices. It has been proved now. In water management, we see the recharge structure, aquifer restoration, and hydrology. How the water system recharge our ground level water. We have many examples in Meghalaya, that bamboo drip irrigation system, scientific equivalent micro irrigation, drip irrigation. These are Jing in Ladakh, that is snow-fed storage tanks, modern equivalent water harvesting model. Bihar, Ahar Pine, the community irrigation, modern equivalent to watershed management project or IWMP, through IWMP made project watershed. So these are the very good examples I felt, so I put it over here. And not only in Meghalaya, Ladakh or Bihar kind of, I took here the central part of India, then Meghalaya. There are many examples from South India also, but it will be a huge, the temple architecture basically, and the agriculture irrigation systems mostly. So I have covered here on the angle of rural development only. That's why I have focused on Meghalaya, Ladakh and Bihar central part on that. Now, biodiversity conservation. Science shows carbon sequestration, uh, Guinea conservation, wildlife refuge, equivalent to protect area and ecology. Thousands will survive. So where it is survived? The sacred groves. Now the climate change is telling that we should leave some forest. But in our ancient time itself, the sacred groves were left. The cows, the animals, the livestock were not allowed to enter. Not even a man or single cow, livestock were allowed to enter in the sacred groves. And the sacred groves has been protected. That is your carbon sequestration is preserving. Nowadays, recently we have seen, few days back, America is protecting, preserving for 250 years one of the drum. In the drum, they are putting the sail bone or equipment or technology, whatever they have, everything they are putting and then putting inside of the drum. And they're telling after 250 years, they will open it. So if the America is doing it now, and our country's sacred groves, which were never been touched by the human, by the animal, by the livestock, completely left on the basis of nature, that is not preservation, that is not scientific endeavor. So this questions comes in our mind when we talk about rural knowledge system, how it is still exist. The climate resilience, traditional farmers observe, how they observe through the birds, winds, cloud, moon, insects, flowering to predict rainfall. Today, agrometeorology studies similar ecological studies. So these were available through our system, through the local available different kind of livestock or animals. Seed conservation, traditional clay pots, ash, neem leaves, cow dung, science. Now, lower insect attack, better germination, longer storage. So traditional Indian village, also integrated farming also has been practiced in crop, livestock, fish, trees, pottery, modern, everywhere it has been practiced. Indigenous cattle, examples, Gir variety, Sahiwal variety, Tharpakar variety, Red Sindhi, scientific importance of disease resistance, heat tolerance, lower maintenance, and climate adaptation. In same as in rural healthcare, if you could see the examples, Ayurveda, medicinal gardens, traditional birth attendants, herbal medicines, scientific evidence, WHO recognize these traditional medicines. Many modern drugs originated from medicinal plant. In Tripura also, in our Department of Human Physiology has developed one of the plant, how it is going to reduce the cancer effect in the body, how it is going to reduce the effect of chemotherapy in the body. So these are many traditional practices is still available. So same as nutritional, our kitchen, that's what I said, kitchen was the one of the health causes kitchen, or very good medicinal kitchen, traditional Indian diet, such like as millets, curd, buttermilk, seasonal vegetables, local fruits, science, higher fiber, low glycemia index, better gut microbiome. These were available in our nutritional book. The rural housing, traditional housing built by bamboo, mud, thatch, stone, lime, cow dung, cluster, science, natural insulation, lower carbon footprint, earthquake resistance, and low energy consumption. So these were the features of our rural housing system. In case of energy, traditional biogas, cow dung, agriculture residues, science, renewable energy, methane, recovery, circular economy, and village economy. These are all. Sir, how much time I have? Hello?
Another 10 to 15 minutes, sir.
Okay. Is there any question answer session also? Is there?
Definitely. That is why we are keeping around 20-25 minutes for question answers. Yeah.
Okay. After that, after my discussion.
After presentation.
Okay. So I can present at least 10 minutes. Next 10 minutes.
10 to 15 minutes you can do.
Okay. So if you could see the village economy, it is example of temple-based economy, the traditional. In addition to the temple-based economy, there is a traditional handloom, pottery, blacksmith, carpentry, bamboo, bell metal, science, cluster development, MSME, creative economy, etc. You can see there are thousand numbers of things available in the village economy. In the knowledge, people think that once we develop, then the women empower. But you will be surprised to know that I'm staying here now in Tripura. Sir has introduced me. It's one of the northeast state, and there is a tribal population. You will be happy to know that a bride, the has choice to select her groom. In that case, the 6th month, the boy has to work in the house of the bride, and then only the bride and his family can choose that boy or not. That depends on their choice. So that culture, that is the empowerment. If you could see, where we are talking about the dowry, still there is no dowry still in the tribal population of Northeast India. There is a there is complete freedom in terms of movement, in terms of going here and there, in terms of as people have developed in the developed country. If you could see in Delhi, I stayed over there, the girl cannot go outside of the nearby home at evening time, 8, 10, 9, but in the village area of the rural population can go to other house anytime. So this is the cultural traditional women empowerment. Traditional women are involved in economic activity, such like as fodder collection, wood collection, business of the household business, not only the cooking and fodding. If I can quote 1,000 number of examples from Northeast India, where still the women are the main livelihood earner of the family. So, women knowledge on seed keeping, nutrition experts, medicinal plant knowledge, food preservation, science, food security, agrobiodiversity, household nutrition, everything we could see in the women's knowledge. And panchayati governance, ancient village republic, local decision making, community ownership, conflict resolution, modern equivalent, decentralized governance, and participatory planning, which are still few part, I could say, in the rural area. It is available. Same like as disaster management, traditional raised house, floating cultivation, bamboo bridge, flood resistance, rice, scientific equivalence, nature-based solution, climate adaptation, indigenous fisheries, example, rice, fish, culture. So indigenous fishery, there are many thousand numbers of examples. This is not in the forest, agroforestry also same. The rural entrepreneurship, traditional skill, lac, honey, bamboo, coir, pottery, handloom. It's today's equivalent to Startup India or Government of India, GI tag products or social enterprise like this. So you could see there is a 20 examples, 20 sectors of rural development I have given here. In the 20 sector, 20 each sector, the rural area still have their knowledge base. And this knowledge needs to be nurtured, cultured, and protected in terms of growth, accelerated growth of the country. And that is the crux. Why I'm telling this crux? Most of you are knowing the OECD data. It is telling till 1500th century, India had the share of world economy 60%. It is telling that till 1800th century, India had the world economy's 30% share. And now in 2025, 26, it's only 2 to 3% share of world economy. So this is the situation. Now, why this situation has happened? Because our traditional knowledge-based economy has been made collapse during the time of colonial period. Now, otherwise, you could see the examples. India is not producing any hira, but India is the hub of production of cutting of hira. In the Gujarat, one of the largest hira cutting experts are there. And the cost of hira depends on how you cut it. The gold, we do not produce gold, but the ornaments from the golds made by Indians are the best in the world. So this is the skill which we had. This is the skill or resources which we had. Maybe in terms of that cannot be stolen away or snatched away by the Britishers. They have looted the temples and other things, but they cannot snatch our skill. The traditional, the knowledge-based system is that we fail to, after freedom also, we fail to preserve it, protect it, and nurture it. If we are able to do it, then automatically our system would have generated. Now, I have given here the 5 examples of already talked, few of them already talked, but these are the few examples of Apatani integrated farming system of Arunachal Pradesh. The key elements: rice and fish cultivation, water management, biodiversity conservation. recognition of FO global importance, such like as Johad Alwar. I'll talk about the Johad Alwar project very deeply on that. Secret groves, we talk about the secret groves. And there are many thousand numbers of examples, such like a spine irrigation system of Bihar, bamboo drip irrigation system of Meghalaya. So there are traditional systems still exist. Now, Bharatiya knowledge system across development of parameters, how it is going to match with our sustainable development goal, how it is going to match with your scientific validation. So if you could see in agriculture that Kisi Parasara, Briksha Ayurveda and agroecology, so soil science, and we are talking about in sustainable development goal, zero hunger. And then soil health, we are talking about life on land. In the water management, we are talking about clean water and sanitation. In the forestry, we have a secret groves, and we're talking about the climate action. In livestock, we have indigenous cattle breeds. We are talking about zero hunger. In healthcare, Ayurveda and Charka Sanghita is there. Pharmacology, we are talking about good health and setting. So these are the examples. In renewable energy, gobar gas, bioenergy, we are talking then affordable and clean energy. We are talking about sustainable development goal, which is developed by Indian United Nations. So in out of 17, you could see here we have already covered 15 goals. So most of the goals, women empowerment, SCG training, weaving, that is the thing. But women were trained in weaving or traditional handloom. Education was in Gurukul system. So everything is incorporated, which we are talking about through the sustainable development goal in Bharatiya knowledge system. So the one example which I was talking about, that Rajasthan's community water management of Rajasthan. The rural communities in Rajasthan have used traditional water conservation method to collect and store rainwater in pond, tank, and small reservoir to overcome water scarcity. That is called Johar. And Johar are traditionally earthen check dams that help recharge groundwater, restore water resource, and support local ecosystem. So this side you could see the groundwater recharge system, how the photographs I have placed over here. Increase in well and water availability, improved irrigation and agriculture, and better livelihood and ecosystem. So this is our traditional knowledge-based impact on the water harvesting and water. So these are the picture I attempted to draw through some artificial intelligence. The idea is that people should know about such technologies which is exist in our old tradition days and how it can be incorporated with the traditional modern techniques and things. So other case study already we talk about. So these are the few examples I have given. But here one more things I left out that I'll put over here. That in our traditional practices we have seen that people, suppose your son is a mechanical engineer and he pass out from a top institute of IIT mechanical engineer, and you bought a BMW car of 2 crore or 4 crore car. So there is a problem in that car. Will you allow your own brother, who is a mechanical engineer from IIT Delhi or IIT Bombay, to open that car? No, because you will get in fear. He may damage my car. But same time, you will go to a village, you go to a garage, a small garage, and there is a guy who entered in that garage 7 years of age. And now he's a 16 years of age. He will be listening the sound of your car itself. He will tell what is the fault in that car. So now say the modern education system which we are talking about, that education is giving your hand holding capacity building. Though we are running many skill development program, vocational education program, national education policy is trying to catch that core thing of Bharatiya knowledge system and how it can be incorporated in our general through internship or through other mechanisms. But imagine a Rajmistri, a carpenter, a engineer, you are still believing who is practicing that knowledge. And Rabindranath Tagore sir was talking about Vishwabharati Shanti Niketan. I have a background, I have studied from there, and always it's a proud feeling. Why, not because of Rabindranath Tagore only. It's a proud feeling. He was a person who realized the handhold practice is most important. So establish the printing on cloth, the leather tanning in the education system, how to do leather tanning in the education system, how to make leather bags, how to do agriculture and farming. That was he established in that time in Santiniketan Vishwabharati. That was his first brainchild, that education should be a combination of mind, heart and hand. As Nai Talim, our Mahatma Gandhi ji has said, education should be a combination where our head, heart and hand, 3 H should be in a combined way work, then only we should get a proper output. So that things are missing and still in our formal education system, which is basically given by Macaulay, and we have carried forward from long time. So only Bharatiya knowledge system and traditional system that can only solve this problem. So another example I would like to quote over here, that the system has changed. Everyone might you have known about the Ramanujan. What he says, whenever I sleep, I slept with a problem, math problem, and the night something came in my mind, and morning whatever I have came in my mind, I wrote down. So that is the deep meditation technology of education, of learning. So suppose I always give an example. Suppose you are doing a research on the chemistry lab. You have one side of hydrochloric acid and one side you have a nitrogen. You want to mix them and you want to see that what is happening over there. What are the color is changing, how it is creating vapor or not, what are the taste is changing, everything you are trying to understand how it is forming a new component and climate. If your mind is so expert, and through mind only, if you are able to mix hydrochloric acid with nitrogen and you can see the reaction, then you need not to do the practical testing. So our Ramanujan, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa Dev, Swami Vivekananda, so these are the real examples where the people have utilized their mind to do the lab or scientific research which has to happen on the practical ground. That's why our books may be failed, which 5 book I have given example over here, may be failed to give the why this is happening. I says ki Panchagabha, this is very important. Agriculture, it is very important, Kisi Prasar. We didn't talk about it's a soil science. It didn't talk about agronomy it is, but it has talked about the same things. So that they have reached the scientific evidence through the meditation or a different kind of education or learning mechanism. And but what we are following nowadays, that is only eye-based, that is on testing based on the lab-based system of education. So we have nurtured. But I'm not telling you both things are which is wrong or which is right. I'm telling both things can prove if we are able to revive our meditation education system, medication-based education system, and incorporate with the present scientific evidence, which has done basically our Acharya Jagdish Chandra Bosu, C.V. Raman, and Netaji Subhash Chandra Bosu, and they have proof in the world, they have what scientific knowledge they have. So this is the process of nurturing our Bharatiya knowledge system for the rural development, basically to reaching to the sustainable development goal and other things. Thank you, and I hope I have solved the purpose. I would like to request you for questions and other things. Any queries if you have.
Thank you, sir. Now there are some questions in the chat box. So can I read them for you?
Yeah, that could be better. Let me open.
There are so many compliments. I'm sure, obviously, I will not be reading the compliments, but just I will be reading the questions. Like, कहाँ गया वो? Or if the participant, just you can unmute yourself and you can also ask the questions directly. Yes, there is a question by Anjali, like, can bamboo drip irrigation be used on a large scale today? This is the question.
Yes. Thing is that the local available material. What I am telling ki one technology, one shoe doesn't fit everywhere. Suppose in Meghalaya or Northeast region, still it is very viable. Why it is viable? Because it's climate friendly. It can be used in a large scale at the places of the hilly terrain, but may not be it is suitable in Bihar. So that's what I'm telling you. Our knowledge system has developed in such a way in the rural system where the which technology is suitable for that area. Suppose house, Rajasthan house, most of the houses were made up by the stone because large number of stones are available there. In the Northeast, same thing happened. The most of the houses were made up by bamboo. So whatever the local material is available, that decentralized mechanism is the thing. It cannot keep whatever the technology is America has developed today that can implement it countrywide. But we are trying to do that. That is the problem. That's what I'm telling. Meghalaya may be implemented many places, bamboo-based irrigation system, but not every place.
Another question: how is biogas Bharatiya traditional knowledge?
If you could see our traditional mechanism of that production of methane and fire system in the village area or basically in the forest area. So people have recognized this system, and there is a place in Arunachal Pradesh where we have seen many the leaves and cow dung all have mixed, and the real people used to start for the cooking also. They are using. So that's what I'm telling, traditional knowledge, but not in that form. Nowadays we have developed a dome, steel dome, and through that steel dome we are collecting. No, I'm telling our traditional knowledge where in a pit they have put it everything, cow dung, leaves and everything. They have covered with mud, bamboo and cover, and there is a hole, and from that they were using it from long time.
There's one more question which says that why is rural knowledge system considered important for sustainable development and environmental conservation?
Because the rural knowledge system, whatever we are seeing, we have discussed, that is close to nature. And when it is close to nature, the whole harvesting mechanism of plants, whole nurturing mechanism of the plant, suppose organic mechanism, which we are talking about, organic farming nowadays. So everything, it is nature based. Livelihood is nature based. Employment generation is nature based. Your agriculture farming is nature based. When it is nature based, then it is sustainable development, because you are using whatever the nature has given, not any artificial chemical and artificial things.
One question, or rather, it is a combination of modern and the traditional, that what we can say. Very recently, few countries, China and Japan, not interested to take our agri products like mangoes and chilies. How to look to this?
So China and Japan, if you could take that example, I have not gone through that example, but thing is that our mangoes now we are not producing from the organic farming. If the chemical taste happen, many places people try to.
I can respond to this
Yes,
because being a student of agriculture, it is because of the residue levels, the higher residue levels of the agricultural chemicals that what we are using on these crops. Fruits and vegetables, especially Dr. Shubhadeep Rai is there, who is an authority on this. He can also comment on that. Who worked as a senior scientist in ICA. Because of that, a lot of lots are being rejected. And I hope that is the basic reason. I hope, Dr. Shubhadeep, you agree with me?
Yes, sir. You are absolutely correct, sir. So the basic residue level they actually test, and if the country-wise the residue limit are also they define the residue limit. So if they find it more than the residue limit, then they cancel the consignment.
Yes,
that is the reason. And of course, there are some socio-political reason also, but it is not in this forum. We will not discuss that.
Yeah. I hope we address that question. And now coming to another question, I think it's related to policy. What the government of India is also thinking in this line. How can we bring back this rural knowledge system back to our day-to-day life? We are diverted from RKS, blindly following the Western style in all products of our lives. Will RKS be included in our school education? Sir, this is related to policy towards taking towards the policy. So please comment on this.
We have attempted in our National Education Policy 2020.
Yeah.
And now the curriculum framework which is coming up, but particularly in school also, if you could see, there is a book, Environment, is coming up. In that environment, we are trying to teach actually how the nature-based livelihood or nature-based learning or nature-based life is good or bad. So once we are able to orient our child that this nature-based is the best for your life, then automatically we can revive. May not be 100%, but we can revive, or we can say that we will reach towards the sustainable development process.
We can think of blending it with the modern science, retaining the tradition and blend it with the modernity so that we can move forward. And because there is another question on this line, sir, in the age of AI and modern technology, what is the future of rural knowledge systems of Bharat?
It's very much. Why I am telling very much? There is a incidence of Ramakrishna Paramahansa Dev. Ramakrishna Paramahansa Dev used to do meditation, okay, high level of meditation. It's 4 hour, 5 hour. And during the time of after the returning back from meditation, he used to tell, I met with Ma Kali and he feed me. I talked with her. I was sleeping on her lap. It was a kind of mother-like behavior. She made me see from her hand. She feeded me like that. He used to tell. So people that time also, there were many people who believe that this is not the real thing is happening. Actually, he is doing a drama because God is not there. So how he can say like this? So once a team of doctor, engineer, and basically a social worker, politician, socio-political people, 5 people of team have visited his ashram where he used to do this every day. So when he went for meditation, doctor has checked his body, okay, and you will be surprised to know that doctor has given him a death certificate and said there is no evidence of life he has. He has neither pulse rate, neither breathing experience. So whatever the evidence of life, the medical science says death of definition. According to them, they have given a death certificate. So the devotees were there, 10 devotees, 12 devotees were there, only 10, 12 devotees used to be there. So they said, no, he is not dead. Every day it is happening, he will come back, don't worry. Then again, doctor waited, okay, I'll not leave today. How he is going to return back, we'll check. Then 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours. They said, no, you go to funeral ceremony, there is no chance. Today he got heart attack because we came. He understood his all drama will be, today will be revealed. Okay. So that day he returned back in 8 hours, after 8 hours. Okay. And all the doctors and everything were surprised. Now, if you could see the AI-based education system or AI-based knowledge system, which is talking about in a unconscious, you are giving a command and they are processing somewhere else, not in a practical lab. In the world of network, they are processing your job. So how in a meditation age also, a people mind can go in some place where he can do the scientific research or not. So you will find that scientific research basically were made by our Rishi and Maharishis. And that's where written in the book. That's why we cannot see how it has written in the lab. Suppose we know Jagdish Chandra Bose has discovered the plant has a life around 200 years ago. Okay, but Rishi Bharadwaj in 2500 years ago has told that plant has a life. But when Jagdish Chandra Bose has told plant has a life, he has proved in a lab that plant has a life. When Rishi Bharadwaj has told plant has a life, that was his meditation, or I can say AI-based learning. So Bharatiya knowledge system or rural knowledge system in the era of AI will be more regenerative. You could see nowadays, if you are doing the AI-based research on how Indian knowledge system or Bharatiya practices of living, moral values, you will getting result. Earlier, it was not there. In the Google, it was not there. But it is the effect of last 15 years, 10, 15 years. The many data is in the world of web of AI. AI is where from they are getting the data. What we are doing now, we academicians are putting somewhere, somehow our paper, article, journals. He is accumulating all this data and giving you, generating such kind of ideas, such kind of literature or such kind of things. So how this is generation is happening? Some unconscious mind of people can also generate some ideas. So what talking we are the Bharatiya knowledge system, Bharatiya rural knowledge system. That Bharatiya rural knowledge system is basically developed in such places, and it has practiced by 1,000 years by our farmers, by our ancient people. Those have practiced and they have come out with some reliable and authentic data. So Bharatiya knowledge, Bharatiya rural system is still will be exist, and it will enhance, I feel, through the age of AI.
Very
At this
nice.
juncture,
Jetli sir, will you permit me to ask a question in the same
yeah,
line what
please,
you
please,
just discussed?
please,
First of all,
please.
really very nice session. Professor Mahato, really you did a great job, especially the way you presented and the slides also. And as I asked the question, really thanks to CMTR also. Jetli sir, thanks. Such topics are really required and so well placed also. Now, Professor Mahato, you just mentioned about the way the examples you gave right now. Don't you think that in this era where modern education and modern science is developing, and India especially, the whole world talks about Western kind of understanding and the validation. So, don't you think sometimes we miss the bus because our own values and our so much credit is there in IKS or BKS, and particularly through you, how we studied the rural knowledge system. I feel that we want more validation. And the time has come that we can really link that with the scientific validation to an extent, so that the pseudoscience,
Agree, madam. I don't feel it's a question basically,
which India
but
is facing now, another
yes,
challenge.
it's
Sometimes we are
it's
missing on that. That can
it's
be also
but
addressed.
that's what
What are
I'm
your
telling.
thoughts?
Still in our education system, the meditation has to be incorporated. The yoga has to be
Right.
incorporated. So then only whatever we are generating in our mind, that has to be validated in the lab now. Then only the world will be able to prove, because it's eye-based education now. Whatever you are able to see, that only you will be believing. If I am able to prove it on the lab, then only you will be believing. So how I'm going to reaching, that's what I'm telling you, a lab research will take maybe 100 years, 50 years, but mind can do that research in a 5 minutes. So 5 minutes has not a validity or reliable data, what I am doing the research in my mind.
No, I agree.
So,
But that
yes,
most of the things are already
that has to be validated on the lab. And
right.
for that process, the lab process can be faster enough if we are able to incorporate or integrate our traditional knowledge system, our traditional meditation process to our new education system.
So in this case,
I would
more of
like to, I would
interdisciplinary
like to,
collaboration, don't you think it will work better, especially with the Western world? It will be faster also.
I'm
Interdisciplinary
coming to that, madam.
collaboration.
I'm coming to that. Let me
Please,
give
sir.
you two examples. For example, in 2016, a Japanese scientist, Hiroshima, whatever, that he came out with the concept of autophagy, and he got Nobel. है ना? The basic point that if you look at that research, because I have gone through that autophagy or concept. So if you go for fasting at in the gap of 15 days, 24
and
hours of
Purnima.
1 day fasting or 12 hours of intermittent fasting, your body will develop that autophagy, which can kill the harmful bodies, and it can even cure the cancer. This is what the research says, that autophagy concept says. So now coming to this rural knowledge system or Indian knowledge system or indigenous knowledge system, don't you think that it is part and parcel of our culture? Once
True,
in
very
15
true.
days, complete fasting.
Yeah,
Then
Ekadasi
this
or
is what
Purnima
that
Amavasya.
let me complete. Let me complete. This is what that you were talking about, the validation of that. It is already validated, but our forefathers linked it with the religion or the spirituality
Exactly.
or whatever it
Culture.
is. Now, coming to the second example. Second example, the effect of nitric oxide on the human body and how you can control that. That is all part of yoga. Sir was also mentioning about yoga. We had a lecture, and on 14th, we are having another lecture by a Professor Ramakrishna from IIS Bangalore, who is basically an electrical engineer. So now he is practicing yoga and teaching yoga for stress management and all. And he, in his lecture, he mentions that nitric oxide and its effect on the body. And the person who worked on that, an American scientist who got a Nobel. But the yoga science has already noted it, and they have given the methodologies for that. And this is what that Professor Ramakrishna mentions in his lecture also. If you do this, so this can be controlled and your stress can be managed. And for which one American scientist got the Nobel for the same thing. So it is already validated through maybe Patanjali or Maharshi or somebody else in over a period of time. But we said that yes, it is our traditional practice. And then when we say that it is traditional practice, so then we try to ignore it. But when we try to look at science behind that, so then it is already validated, but we link it to the culture or religion or puja performance and all those things. So then we feel that, we have that feeling. So this is what is my view on that. Yeah.
Very nice. I think that's why we want more, sir. The way we present has to be perhaps changed. Beyond it has to come beyond culture or religion. Perhaps the value what Indian system has, sir, it will be more, I feel, more promoted as well as respected. This is what I also feel, sir.
Yeah. And in this
I think
direction,
scientists
I
are the
would like
best
to
people to do.
share one more. Yeah, definitely. One more experiment that what CMDR has done. We wanted to publish research articles in the regional languages. Why this idea came into to CMDR? Recently, in the 2025, we organized a conference here, and one of the keynote speaker was from Jawaharlal Nehru University. One madam was there, and during her keynote address, madam said that we should be thankful to Britishers who taught us English. Otherwise, I don't know Kannada and you don't know Hindi, so we would not be in a communication situation. So this was a thing. Then I said, madam, please give me one minute. So he said, okay. She said, okay, because I was presiding over that particular talk. Then I said, she said, okay. You see, English took birth in 4th century. It is known as the Germanic language. And Adi Shankaracharya moved from Kerala in 4th century only to Uttarakhand, Kedar and Badri. And he moved to other places also. Which language he was talking about? Which language he spoke to the entire country? This is one example. The Pashupatinath temple in Nepal, the official worshippers of that, the pujaris, should be from a remote village from Karnataka. We call them as Havyaka Brahmana from the Gokarna. Gokarna, I hope all of you might have heard. There is one Shiva temple is there. One specific, the smallest community of Brahmins are eligible to worship that Pashupatinath temple. This is many thousands of years of tradition is there. Which language these Brahmins were speaking and which language that land was speaking and the Nepalis were speaking.
Right.
So it is not that only English. Yes. Now, because
it facilitates more, that's all.
Our colonial mindset, still we are into that. So once we come out of, then we thought, okay, let us start publishing the research articles in regional languages. We got very good response. We got 23 articles from 9 languages.
Oh, very nice.
And we are continuing that also. Bengali articles are there, Marathi articles are there, Tamil, Telugu, Sanskrit, all these languages are there, and still we are continuing. So that we can have the literature. Now, Minister of Education, Government of India has come out with a software. This is for the information of all. The institution has to register. Once you put your article into that, it will give you a QR code. Once you scan that, and you can read that article in the language that you want, Indian language that you want. And they claim that 95% accuracy. Bhashini is the name of the software. With 95% accuracy, you can read that. So our institution is in the process of registration. As soon as we get it, so then we'll publish all the articles with a QR code so that you can read it in your own mother tongue. So this is what is the thing. So now means we need to preserve that and we need to work on that. What you said
And
about
disseminate it
the
further, sir.
validation, obviously, that is the greatest issue.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right.
I agree with that.
Hello,
Okay.
sir.
Wonderful.
Yes,
Thank you,
yes,
sir,
sir.
so much. Thank you.
Sir, hello.
Yes, sir, please.
Yeah, yes. Sir, first of all, I would like to congratulate also Dr. Arobindo Mahato, sir. It was an excellent lecture and also, sir, many facets you have covered. But I have one or two questions along with that, some clarifications also. You were talking about the use of neem twig while cleaning our tooth and all. Your friend has said it and all. It was very interesting, in fact. The similar situation also, I also faced it. And also, probably my daughter was asking me that why animals won't get tooth caries. I was really that question when she asked me, I was also surprised. Maybe because of that, in 1991 onwards, because of the globalization, our food pattern and also food consumption also probably changed. We have switched over to the foods from the different parts of the world, and also switch over to the sticky kind of a food, and probably that might be the one of the reason for the tooth caries and all. Uh, for that reason, not only for the changing, replace with the Indian, we need to be replaced with the Indian food as well as the lifestyle also together. That is what I would like to say. That would not just one. And along with that, in suppose if when you are talking about the village and also their situation and all, now in so many villages, the bakeries are percolating into that. They the food they are preparing, that is everybody and village people are very much fond of that kind of a bakery item because gram panchayats are there. Gram panchayats wanted to suppose if somebody wanted to start any kind of a this kind of eateries or any kind of a business venture, they are allowing. So slowly that the food culture is changing, and we are switching over into the different kinds of foods. Probably that is a very we should be think over that how to bring back to the rural and also local food into the next generation. And second thing is when we are talking about the now many government schools are closing where the children are learning their traditional knowledge as well as they're using their traditional knowledge as well as the rural knowledge and all. They are vanishing because everybody wanted to go to the private convents and all. And most of the time, I'm thinking that see, we urban mindsets always advise others to follow, but we will not follow that. For example, if you say that when you go to the when you go to any kind of a small market or somewhere else, we always prefer to bargain with the village woman for the 2-3 rupees and all for the while buying the sabji or something. But when we go to the big malls and all, we will pay whichever the amount they displayed in their shops and all. Probably we need to think over that. Urban needs need to be think over that instead of just advising to the rural people and all. That's my would like to convey to this. And second thing is when you are talking about the dowry culture in northeastern India, tribal boy has to go there and work in the girl's family. There, when they satisfy that, they can be accept for the marriage proposal or something. And many of the issues you brought it are the tribal knowledge only, probably because in rural also many things are changing. That's what I connected with bakery and also government school and all. So probably can we call this tribal knowledge is the Bharatiya knowledge? That is my concern because tribe only in tribal. I feel that's only in tribal group only and tribal knowledge only still that is intact in many knowledge which they are having. And second one, another one thing is agriculture production. Suppose if you agriculture production through the organic farming, because without using any kind of chemicals and all, can it possible? Is it enough to fill the 135 crores of stomach of 135 crores of people of India, and also we are exporting to the other countries also. These two things are what is striking to my mind while listening to your lecture. Otherwise, it was very excellent. please.
Yeah, thank you, sir, for raising these queries and all. And that's what, as Basar Prabhu sir from Agriculture Expertise said, it's a blending with modern technique is very important nowadays. You cannot completely rely on the basis of your traditional knowledge. And traditional knowledge or Bharatiya knowledge system we have in terms of agriculture, because we have to feed 140 crores of people. And Sikkim is the one of the example on that. They have started the 100% organic farming on that. And I'm really sorry to say that the production rate has declined due to that. And then when I was planning for government of Tripura, also in Tripura, and we felt we can reach at least 60 to 70% only on the organic farming, not can be 100%. We cannot rely on the completely on the organic farming. Some pesticides, some actually pest or some kind of insects has developed in between, which may not be completely controlled by our organic pesticides or neem or something like that. Second question, what you have asked, traditional knowledge system or rural knowledge system or tribal knowledge system. I like to say you ki most of the rural and tribal, if I calculate in the calendar form, in a year wise calendar form, if I could say ki if the whole rural area of our Bharat was as like as 50 years or 100 years back, how the tribals of our country is there. So if 500 back, they were maybe similar. So in the rural area has incorporated something or infiltrated the colonial effect, or you could say the so-called quote unquote the modernization effect in our rural area. But you cannot say the tribal area is still the completely not infiltrated, or there is no infiltration has happened. What examples I have given, that is very a Lepcha community of tribes, and that is a very less number of people exist in that tribe, and that tribe has followed that. But what I quoted, tried to quote through the example or protect through the example, or phrase through this example that as we have developed, so-called developed, we have leave the dignity of the woman. We have left the dignity of the woman. That's why I said if I start journey from Tripura to Delhi, and while doing this journey, I'll say that women empowerment is extremely high in Northeast in compared to Delhi or your developed state. Because you could see in terms of safety, security, domestic violence, restrictions are wherever we are going for the developed. So wherever we are going so-called developed means we are moving towards so-called westernization. Whenever we are so-called moving to the westernization, still I wanted to protect through our rural knowledge system. May not everything be protect our family system. If you could see in our country, in the developed states or Delhi, what is happening now? The divorce rate is very high, separation rate is very high, as like as Western countries. Then when your family is demolishing, that's why I said whatever we have learned and protected is through family. Our Bharatiya knowledge system, if it still exists, it's through family, it's our community, it's our village, it's my grandmother, it's your grandmother, it's our old people who has transferred this knowledge to us. If we shifted towards a nuclear family and we are not able to protect our family system, we will be losing that knowledge system. And as we are moving towards the Western system, we will be losing our family system also. Still, we have in our mind, maybe we are not able to practice completely. Maybe we know that bakery biscuit is not good for me. At least I know, and I try to have some jawar roti or ragi roti sometime at least. So if weekly once or twice also I am trying to attempt, that may increase the knowledge system incorporation in our health, in our education, and everything. So these are just I've given the tribal example, but I'm telling you it's a rural area. Still, I can say influence of colonization or influence of so-called westernization is less compared to your urban or so-called Delhi, Bombay, or the big cities and all. This is
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Sir, you are not audible. Jirli sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
There is a question: how rural knowledge is different from urban knowledge system?
The first, the slide itself, sir, I talk about it. Basically, the urban knowledge system is colonized mostly, and it's kind of mosaic. What is the meaning of mosaic? That means when the various community is coming together, then there is a knowledge is basically not protected or one kind of knowledge. It's a mixing of various kind of knowledge, and when the cocktail is made, that time we are not getting any concrete knowledge. In the rural area, still the community system exists, so the knowledge system is persistence, and it is continuing in that area.
Yes, another question: how can government and NGOs strengthen rural knowledge systems?
The policy and programs of promoting the sustainable rural knowledge system or development system, the skill, the whatever the startup India we are giving, are we promoting the environment protected schemes or not? Is there any reward or there or not? How the awareness of the people or not? Suppose you could see now the Swachh Bharat Abhijan. After Swachh Bharat Abhijan, I'll be happy to see that my child is, when he's stopping me or something, they are also careful about throwing some plastic on the road or something like that. So it's a government initiative. Government has taken such big initiative. After that result we are seeing now, at least some awareness level is there. We cannot say 100% we have removed all garbages, but at least there is an attempt. In government office, I am seeing now 5.0 I think so running. The Swachh Bharat Abhijan 5.0. So they have at least taken all my old computers where were dumped. They are trying to give some vendor who can electronic waste can be decomposed in a proper manner, and it should not be lead to environmental degeneration. So these are the happening. So government and NGO has a very good role. Another question, there is, I'm seeing many questions actually on that same line, how we can protect our rural knowledge system and all that. So I would really say such kind of discussion and debate or questions, so many questions, flood with questions, should happen continuously in the academic arena. Because we are the people who teach thousands number of students. In my lifetime, maybe I'll be teaching 5,000, 10,000 students in my life. So if I am devoting some things, if everybody of our, not only myself, everybody ours is devoting, then our rural knowledge system can be protected. And whatever the coming from west, that is not bad or that is not good. That we have to understand. We have to choose enough which is actually good and which technology is basically not good. And it has to be filtered, then only adopted. Whatever they're doing the West is not good, or whatever the West is doing not bad. But we have to filter enough to learn that mechanism, spectacle enough to learn that mechanism, then only we will be able to cope up with this global market force also. That's not only West, because you are going in a mall, they are selling you so many products forcefully, basically, because it's such a lucrative way. It has been placed in front of you that you buy, and that leads to ultimate losing your country's economy, country's environment. May not be that product you are using in your home. So are you aware? Then only you can stop yourself. Otherwise, it's very difficult nowadays, because it's not only West, it's complete global market force is putting eye on you, because you are 140 crore population. If you are 140 crore population, that means you are best buyer for them. Consumer market is very high, so they are trying to impose many more things, and that can demolish our complete knowledge phenomena, which has not yet, after global market or 1991 that global economic power force, it is going to happen. So we have to be aware and cautious, because which has not happened in 200 years, that can happen in 10 years only. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, sir. I think, friends, it is already 6:10. We spent around 1 hour, almost 40 minutes now. So with this, we'll be closing this discussion. And shortly, we will be declaring another webinar. Every month, we'll be having two. I hope all of you will participate, and some of you can come forward to deliver in the forthcoming seminars also, if you can contribute, and we can be in touch. So at the end, I would like to say that earlier we used to call this rural knowledge systems as in the different names, like maybe it is Indian knowledge system or indigenous technical knowledge. Why it is so important, we need to realize in the 90s to the incidences that happened. The healing properties of turmeric and neem were patented by some US companies, which was challenged by the then government of India. So then we started realizing the importance of documentation as well as validation of our knowledge systems. And when government did that in a befitting manner, we got those patents back. And immediately after that, the basmati variety of India was patented by Texas University, and they named it as Texmati. And that was also again challenged by the then Indian government, and it was we got the patent back. So these incidences forced us. Yes, Indian knowledge system is relevant globally, and people are looking for that. So then the government started working on that, and looking into the present today's discussion. Dr. Mahato Sahab has not only worked in Tripura, but he has connected himself with the entire India, and he tried to collect a lot of case studies as well as the practices and the knowledge systems that are prevalent, and he has published books and papers also on this. So definitely, it's a matter of pride and privilege for us also to come in contact with Professor Arobindo and share his knowledge. Today we had around 120 participants were there, because the limit for this Zoom link was 100. And as the number increased, we made it for YouTube Live also. There are so many participants, because CMDR has its own YouTube channel. So we made YouTube Live, and many participants joined there also. So it's a matter of pride for all of us looking into the contents. And when we look into the knowledge part of, especially the Indians or the Bharatiya, so whether it is the traditional knowledge or the modern knowledge, even if you look at the IT sector, almost all miracles are being done by Indians only, directly or indirectly. The names of the companies are different, but the people behind those companies are the core mind which is developing the software, may it be any of the AI platform, or may it be Microsoft, or may it be IBM, or whatever it is. Again, it is the Indians. It means we have that inbuilt talent in us, but we need an appropriate platform for that. Whatsoever the place who are providing the platform, yes, Indians are excelling. So that is a matter of pride for all of us. And at this juncture, I would like to say that we need to decolonize our mind. So our mindsets are colonized. Sir has also mentioned that we need to decolonize our mind, because, as he has rightly mentioned, global market forces are looking at us, and they are operating on us. And we need to come out of that, so that to establish our own identity globally. And we have done a lot in that direction, but still a lot more needs to be done in this direction. So with this brief note, so I would like to extend my sincere thanks to Sir Arobindo Mahato sir for accepting our request and delivering such an insightful discussion. There are a lot of minds who are still coming out with a lot of questions, and definitely we'll be continuing this journey. And I thank all the participants to share your views, as well as to be an active participant in this webinar. And shortly we will be meeting again and again throughout this academic year with the different topics and the dimensions of social sciences. Thank you one and all. And I request you all to fill up that feedback form, so that we can send you the e-certificates for the same. Thank you one and all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So now we'll be taking leave.
Very nice.
Yeah.